What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. We got another episode of Skate Hacks today, and today we're going over the backside flip. So I got a lot of requests for this a while back, but I haven't gotten to it yet, and today I'm finally doing that. So I'm mainly going to go over the problem that I see most people having with backside flips and the key that I think is important to a proper backside flip. So instead of going over from start to finish, a beginner's template for how to backside flip, I'm just going to go over the keys of what I think a proper backside flip has to have. So obviously before trying a backside flip, you want to have backside 180s and kick flips because that's exactly what a backside flip is, a combo of those two tricks. But I would say the major problem I see most people having with backside flips is this issue right here. They're not getting enough spin with it, they're not getting enough rotation, and that's mainly because the flick is off. The flick is going way too far to the side instead of up off the front, and you really want to get a proper flick for a good backside flip, because when you flick off the front, you're going to end up dipping the nose down, and when you dip the nose down, that nose or the front end of the board is going to end up being your axis of rotation. So the rest of the board is going to sort of rotate around that point. And so that's what you want if you want to get a good proper rotation on the backside flip. Because if you don't get that solid flick going at first, then the nose is going to stay higher than the tail. And that's something you definitely don't want. You want it to level out, or you want the nose to be dipped down more. So if you want a proper backside flip that's going to rotate easier, if you want it to be easier for you down stair sets or whatever the case is, it's better to have it at least leveled out or somewhat tweaked. So basically what I'm going for here is a tweaked backside flip. So my main tip for improving a backside flip is to get that flick going off the front. Now you don't want it too heavy off the front because something like this will happen where you might hit your shins or whatever, but you also don't want it too far off the side because it's not going to level out. It's going to look like a rocketed backside flip. It's going to look ugly, and it's most likely going to be harder to turn. So when you have the nose dipped down, it becomes easier for it to complete the rotation. So that's my tip on backside flips. Really, I would just set up like you normally would for a kick flip, except of course you're going to wind up like you would for a backside 180, and by the time you pop, you should already be sort of facing backwards and getting that tweaked kick flip going. Like I said, it's about finding a balance, because if you don't have a good flick on that, it's going to stay rocketed, and if you have too much flick going off the front, it's not going to flip completely. So you want to find that balance. So it depends, everyone's different. Everyone has different boards and shoes that are at different levels of wear and tear. So it's really about finding that key balance to get the board tweaked and just start rotating. The board just starts rotating around that axis, which is around the whole, the front truck or the nose area. So once you wind up flick and start turning backside, really do not be afraid to flick off the front of the nose. You want that nose to come down, and you want to eventually catch that backside flip at about 90 degrees. So you're going to catch it at about the halfway point, and like I said, it's going to be easier to come down on if you started that tweak off in the first place. So those are my tips on backside flips. Those are the key tips I think that are important to getting a proper backside flip, finishing the rotation, getting a good flick. So comment down below any of your future skate hack suggestions. Thanks for watching as always. See you next time.